reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
When I heard Master Bongo's airship went down, I immediately set out to find him. He has to finish training me.
Dear gods, the last time I trained you, I lost an eye. I can't afford to lose another. Your training. Yes, fine. But I have one condition.
Anything?
Once your training is complete, I never see you again. Not ever.
Ah, yes, I see. The Swordsmaster must travel the world. It would be a terrible waste for us to stay in the same locale.
Yes, exactly, whatever you say. Agreed? Very well. Your training begins now.
Happiness mode engaged. Hello.
Welcome.
Ready for action.
Happy to meet you, hero.
Glad to have you with us.
You'll find everything you need here.
Hail, traveler.
Wake up, you motherless Edens. It's time to go.
I'd offer the traditional pirate's greeting, but your spleen is better unperforated.
You're listening to Guild Wars Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMOReporter, and by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com.
To another episode of Guild Wars Reporter. This is episode 203. I am Celeste, and as always, I am joined by the amazing Allona.
Hello, Super Celeste.
Yay!
How has that one not been said before?
I don't know.
And how did I not come up with it?
I don't know.
Someone messaged me that saying, you should use this.
Ah, well, that's good.
I was like, wow, I feel kind of dumb. Never thinking of that.
I just reuse the old ones. You know, because I'm lazy.
Why not?
Yeah. So, Allona, what did you do in game this week? Because you certainly were not lazy.
Well, I got all caught up on Cius. Is that okay? Is that how you would say that? This is the...
I say seis, because that's
Seis?
how you spell it in Spanish for six. It's seis.
Alright. Seis. So, on the weekend, there were 2... maps that I hadn't completed. Yeah, so there was Blood Tide, and she had moved to South Sun. So I did. No one else was on. I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to.
Right. Yeah.
Without irritating anyone else. So I did that, and then last night, one of the last things we did before I logged off was, I think, Hunter and a few of us went out to where she is now in Melkor's.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's done. I don't want to give any spoilers for that, but the dialogue is quite interesting.
Yeah, I still need to run out there and do the last couple of zones.
There were a couple times I found it frustrating because the indicator was saying it's around here.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not find it. I found Blood Tide particularly difficult because I guess it's a lot more green, and
yeah.
Like that yellowy green, and the little thing you're looking for is yellowy green.
Yeah.
I was ready to flip a table for a couple of them. I'm like, where is... It got to the point where I just ran around spamming the key, hoping a pop-up would happen.
Oh, wow.
Because I could not find it.
Hiding in the bushes!
One was.
Oh, great.
Yes. And I think I started going first person.
Yeah.
To see if that would help. I would like to hear what you think of the Blood Tide Coast. When all the other ones I didn't have quite as much of a problem with, but Blood Tide I found particularly challenging.
I've only done 2 of them, so I don't have a comment yet.
Okay, well, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I'm sure Blood Tide will be interesting.
It was the only one that I found frustrating. All the other ones I quite enjoyed. So I still have had no luck with Rendak. I mean, obviously, the item I'm trying to get as a drop sells for like several hundred gold.
Yeah.
So it's not like it drops that often. So, but for a while there, Hunter, remind me what your first character you had in there. It was, we leave 2 characters there.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to do it every day. And he had needed that one for something else, and so he switched with his Mesmer. And when he had done that, for whatever reason, we both stopped getting the world boss chests when we were done fighting Rendak. And that whole time that other character was fighting with me, I didn't even get the common chalices or any of the signets. Oh, Dragon Hunter. Thanks, Hunter. So it was like, then he decided he wanted his Mesmer somewhere else. So he brought his warrior in, and first time, world boss chest. I got common chalice at least. Something. So I'm like, okay, this is a better fit. I have no idea what was happening with the mix of like damage or something, but I don't think it's just random RNG. Like it was real. It was real. So anyway, still no luck, but at very least getting world boss chests out of it now.
Mm-hmm.
I fungered quite a bit, like probably did five or so fungeons.
Wow, that's a lot.
Week. Well, they don't take a whole lot of time, really. People, they get it down.
That's true.
Yeah, it was fun. I was about to say in my notes here that I hadn't done a lot of fractals, and I would like to do more fractals with the guildies, but then I remembered actually I did run a couple T3 fractals, the dailies, with some peeps from Relics. They weren't anyone that I recognized the name of, so I don't know how new they are, but they just said in guild chat, hey, we're going to do some fractals, if anyone's interested, and I said, sure. And so we did T3, and we did great on the anomaly, and then we fell completely on our faces in the Harpy fractal.
Okay.
And we had people drop out, and then getting pugs, and those people would drop out, and the old Tom just did us in. Could not get past old Tom. It was just wipe after wipe, and it was very frustrating. It just wasn't gelling, and they went, nope, let's give up. We're not doing this. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It happens sometimes. And this week's mock raid, while not successful, it went really well because we did Veil Guardian again, which we haven't done for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we got him to below, or her, I guess. Do we know the gender of Veil
It?
Guardians? Does it really matter? We got it below 50%. So I think that's our best showing so far.
Nice.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm up a little bit in Emerald in PvP. I haven't done it as much the last week, but I did a lot of, I didn't have any pips in Emerald.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a bunch of losses, and I'm like, well, it doesn't... Of course I'd like to win, but it's not like I'm losing anything. I can't go below what I have. Meh. But then we won, and because of the losing streak, I now have 2 pips in Emerald. So yay, 2 pips. Manufactured victory. And I'm slowly, so slowly, continuing to make progress on Tier 2 of Chuka and Champawat. It's such a hard Tier 2. And then I remembered, wait, the last one's almost as bad.
Oh no.
So many. Well, it's just, there's things you have to make for the gifts. I actually have not used a tracker yet, probably because I'm afraid to see how much I have left to do.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just like, ignorance is bliss, la 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 la. It's all good. Nothing terrifying is happening.
As long as I don't know how much gold I'm spending, we're good.
Because, that's been a thing. So, Celeste, what did you do in game?
Well, I was looking around on GW2 efficiency, and I was like, oh, I have a birthday present waiting for me on my Mesmer. So I go over to my Mesmer and I log in, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I have any birthday presents on my Guild Wars 1 account. So I logged in and I had like 6 or 7 birthday vouchers to cash in.
Well, I've logged in fairly recently, but
I got a whole bunch of minis that I think I already had most of them. I got more! Huzzah! So if you need minis for Guild Wars 1, I'm flush with them. Just let me know.
I might.
Oh, okay. Is that one that you need?
I don't know. If you're flush, I'd have to check. I have no idea what I'm at.
I think it caps out at 30 minis for the Hall of Monuments. I want to say it's 30. Could be 50. And yeah, I got a whole bunch of duplicates. So, yay. I ran around in Bloodstone Fen. I did the whole Jade Armor Unbound Magic chain thing with a huge Zerg.
And had you done that before, or just?
I had done like some of the Jade Armor events, but I didn't like follow the group through each place. So this was, I think, the first time I've done it. And also got my Bloodstone Daily as well. I liked it.
Oh, actually, I did Bloodstone Dailies a bit more this past week after my break. My Bloodstone break.
Yeah. Oh, I'm halfway into getting Leyline gliding.
Good. Actually, do you go and get your the bonuses from the guild hall?
No.
From the tavern? Okay, you get in there and you get that.
Okay. I should do that. I wasn't even thinking about it. Because it's not something that I automatically think about. It's a problem.
I do it for everything. Like, if it's daily big spender and you get the big spender and then use it on the badge on the guild upgrader dude, and you get your daily reward, it's a potion of World versus World track stuff. So before I double click that, I run over, get the World versus World track bonus, then open it, and then switch back to Magic Find.
Wow.
This is serious business.
Yeah, you take it very seriously.
All the time. I'm always talking to that dude.
I will have to do this. Because granted, I went from maybe a third in to halfway over the course of one afternoon. But I feel like it still was very slow to go. But it's more like it's so much experience, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just lamenting the fact that I don't have more time to play. How's that?
You want to.
Yes.
The spirit is willing.
Yes. So we live stream on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/MMOreporter. You can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play. Remember to rate and review us so that people know that we're a real podcast. Speak real English words, and occasionally don't mess up when reading things off of a script.
Specifically about speaking English words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Timing.
Indeed.
And we have a review, 5 stars from Bol from Sweden. And this was left on iTunes on August 23rd. From Sweden with love. I really enjoy listening to you guys. Good information and good laughs. The only Guild Wars 2 podcast I listen to. And what else do you need? Thanks again for the great cast. Rhyme.
Thank you, Rhyme.
Thank you, Rhyme.
Bowl.
Or Bowl. Rhyme Bowl.
Think we're ready for another attack?
From land, air, or sea, we won't be caught off guard again.
Report from Lion's Arch.
Long live Lion's Arch.
So there was a trailer for Rising Flames, which we now know is the new name for episode 2.
And it's not Burning Ring of Fire.
So in the trailer, we actually do get to see quite a few things. A whole lot of flaming skulls. Just a lot of skulls. There's a few other creatures, and the fractal glider.
Yeah.
And they left a message along with the trailer of join us on the Guild Wars 2 subreddit on release day after the episode goes live. Members of the development team will be there to celebrate the release alongside fans.
Now, back to the skulls.
Yeah, yes.
It's not just skulls, it's skulls that vomit lava.
Yes. This is true.
That's pretty heavy metal.
It is. I feel like there's a joke there.
Probably.
More so about metal and lava, but I'm not smart enough to put it together.
So I watched it on the official Guild Wars 2 channel, and because I'm this type of person, I read comments.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going through and reading the comments on it, and there's the usual mixed bag.
Of course.
Of good and bad. But there was one person who said, "Oh, I see that you can't be bothered to remove the cursor from
the fireworm."
Yes, and I was like, what? And so they had the timestamp in it, and I went back and I'm like, what kind of eagle eyes does this person have? that was like, not only is it a pointer, it's the pointer that's the same color basically as the background.
Basically, yeah.
I'm like, but then somebody says can't unsee. I'm like, well, yeah, now that I see it, it's pretty obvious, but like, no, it's not something that jumped out at me. I was like, but yeah, overall though, as far as the trailer itself, what did you think? Like, what was your impression of it?
I'm excited. I really am. I think where we have the flying destroyer, I think that's probably the inside of the jumping puzzle, because it looks like you would be running around in the background.
Maybe.
I'm excited, and then you got to see some of the Mersat ruins that weren't really ruined.
Yeah.
With a fractal glider. Thought that was pretty darn cool.
There were a bunch of stuff I missed that obviously I picked up. I watched the Wooden Potatoes frame by frame, which is fantastic for someone like me because when these come out, I'm usually at work. And it's not like I can like throw it up on my monitor full size.
Right.
And watch it. So I'm like, I have it. It's not even on my phone because that is still too obvious. I have like this tiny little YouTube window in the corner of my monitor. It is postage stamp sized. And that is, so I mean, I find the frame by frames really valuable.
Well, I was doing that anyways because I wanted to cap screenshots for the episode tonight, so I had it in Adobe and I was cutting each scene, I guess.
Did you notice the cursor on your own?
I did not.
Eagle eyes? Okay.
I did not. I saw it on the Wooden Potatoes video and I was like, what? Ah!
So that was, I liked it. I thought the voiceovers were great. Hunter in chat is actually saying that the skulls that vomit lava were in original Guild Wars. I don't remember a whole lot about the original Fire Islands chain from the first game because I just don't for some reason. Like I have this weird blockage with a lot of prophecy stuff for some reason. Where I'm like, I don't remember. I mean, the Frostgate, I did that a bazillion times. But the things that I didn't have to repeat many times, it's like it's kind of fallen out of my memory.
Yeah, the Ring of Fire Island, really a lot of what I would do would just be the missions. I didn't do a whole lot of exploring most of the time, so I don't remember a whole lot from just the area in general, but I remember a lot of the missions. And I think there were some skulls in there.
Yeah, well, that could be. There were a lot of them in the trailer.
Yes. I was naming the screenshots and it was like, there's 5 fiery skulls. Like I named them Fire Skull 1, Fire Skull 2.
Yeah, and you could do it to the tune of the Christmas song.
5 fiery skulls.
I wanted to continue going with that, but no. We got stuff to talk about. But we may need to continue with this at a later date. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the 20th, that's for sure.
I'm excited.
And the Skrit looking all actually rather competent.
I'm still on the fence about that. I'm not sure that they belong.
We'll see.
That Skrit looks very cool, but I'm not sure that I'm on board with it yet.
Is that Farron's rapier or is that Bonetti's rapier? Because it's one of the two.
I hadn't actually looked too closely. I'm not sure which one it is.
I think it might be Farron's. So yeah.
I wonder how they could work that in lore-wise if it's Farron's.
Replicas.
Okay.
There's one other thing that I had. Oh, it was an actual trailer, not like a teaser with no information.
Oh yeah, it was nice.
So, yay, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There was some news on the forum. It was just earlier today, I believe, right?
I believe
that it
so.
was posted. Yeah, that there are changes coming to the Revive orbs. And it was a post by Sarah Witter. And they say that, so Revive sickness has been updated to be more in line with other forms of revival. The orb will return you to 50% of your health pool instead of previous 1 health point. You no longer are crippled, but are locked in combat state for 60 seconds and can't use another orb while under Revive sickness.
Mm-hmm.
When defeated, if you have an orb in inventory, you will receive a UI option to consume a Revive orb alongside the usual return to waypoint option.
I'm really not sure how I feel about that.
I need to see it.
Yeah, I feel like if it's too close, like instinct will be like, oh, I'm in the spot, click. No!
Well, if you're like me, you have hundreds of these. It's not that big a deal.
I think I only have like maybe 50, and they're scattered across all my characters.
Well, I have a lot. In fact, I used one just last night in Ascalon Catacombs.
You gamble a lot more than I do with chests, so...
Fair. That is true. And they also say they've replaced the ghostly caretaker with an orb vortex that circles above your body and fills in for the 10 seconds it takes for the revival to be complete. And that part I don't really like. That's like I mean, I like everything else that they've done for it.
Yeah.
Again, I do much better seeing something in practice versus just reading about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm fine with this. Although I kind of like the ghostly caretaker. Ghost rubs.
Ghost rubs. I didn't really care either way, but Romo offered a differing opinion, saying that as ANET complains about resources and lack of development time, Revive Word change makes it meh. It's nice number-wise, but new animation is unnecessary. Because that means they took the time to make a whole new animation to make this work.
But here's... Okay, and there was a reply to this... And I couldn't find it when I went, so I don't know where it went, actually. But I thought it was Jebro that did it, but it said there's multiple teams, and they have different roles. Like, I know, okay, just to play devil's advocate, on my team, we do our capacity. And you can have one person that has 45 hours worth of work, and another person that has 25 hours worth of work. But the person with all this hours worth of work can't really divvy it up. Like, people will try help them, but it's still not enough for that one person with 25 because they're just on inherently different projects. So, I mean, it's not like everyone's in a big pool and just like bids for jobs and that's what they do.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, I have no idea how they structure stuff, obviously. But that's my devil's advocate for this one. It's the boring real world how...
No, I understand. It's just kind of like, I understand his point of view also in that...
Oh, yeah.
They could be working on other animations that add new things to the game that aren't fixing things that aren't exactly broken. Like that animation with the ghostly caretaker was fine.
It was, but it's not like they're changing it to an animation that is highly complicated. So maybe it was something, maybe they had a summer intern, and this is the job they gave them to do.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because it wasn't mission critical.
True.
And they decided, oh, it actually looks, that's pretty cool. Let's just, I mean, obviously I have no idea. I have no idea. But, having had interns or like co-op students, this to me is like, and now I may have just dissed someone's actual job if they were, but I'm just saying.
Like, I can give you this and you won't be able to break things.
Well, yeah, but the number of hours that it would take to do this versus full animation fixes, it could be a completely different skill set. It's a completely different number of man hours. So anyway.
I understand.
I had a lot to say about this, apparently.
So let's mosey right along to the Black Lion Trading Company and the new things that are in store this week. There's the Peg Leg and Pirate Hook for 300 gems each. And I was thinking initially, it's like, shouldn't this have come out with the Capricorn? And then I realized that it is Pirate Week in Guild Wars 1, because I saw that on the login screen, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Because I think yesterday was Talk Like a Pirate Day. Or is it next week?
I think it's on the 19th.
But it's coming up
Yeah.
in any event. I'm totally going to out-hunter here a little bit. It was adorable how gleeful he was when he saw the peg leg and the pirate hook. Like, almost giddy. It was like, ooh, I've never heard this before.
Was it kind of weird?
No, it was adorable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then there was the Kurzik Dual Axe for 600 gems. And it kind of reminds me of Canaxi's axe. A little
Which
bit.
I had to look what you were talking about. I followed your link there that you helpfully put in for me. When you preview the axe, it just looks like it's a nice axe. It has a bit of a glowy effect.
Right.
But I always like to go to Dulphy because she will always have video.
Yeah.
And there's actually a fair amount of particle effects for this. Like it has, when drawn, there's a trail and particle effects. So, I mean, it's 600 gems. Pretty good.
Yes.
It's nice.
And then for returning items, we have the fused weapon skins coming back at 4 tickets each.
Yeah.
Wow. Then the Phoenix Glider, molten/fused harvesting tools, zodiac armors, and various cosmetic pieces as well. 4 tickets.
But I totally understand why they're doing that, because they were expensive and difficult to get when they first came out.
Yes.
They are still expensive, like up to 600 gold, for possibly even higher than that. I'm just at GW2 Spidey. What do you think? Greatsword skin would probably be a
good indicator, yeah.
Yeah, 500. The staff is 600, and I think that might even be down a little bit.
Probably.
Because of this. So if you consider what it would cost you to buy with actual gold versus what it would cost you in tickets, they're still comparable. So I was wondering if they were trying to consider the market.
It's a possibility.
How hard they were to get in the first place. I mean, and it's still better than not available at all.
That's true. You know, at least they're putting it back in the rotation.
And it's probably easier for people to get 4 tickets than it is to spend 600 gold.
It depends on how much in-game versus real money you want to spend, but yeah.
Precisely, yeah. And you may not have either, and you're out of luck, which blows, but, you know, it's not a big deal for me. I don't necessarily, I mean, they're cool and all, but I can think of many other things I'd want to spend 4 tickets or 600 gold on.
Yeah.
I think it's because they're rare. And I'm wondering if the other reason they're bringing them back this way is just because of the cyclical nature of MMO players, how many people that have fused weapon skins actually still play so that you see them in game?
Probably not very many.
Probably not very many, comparatively. So
it sounds kind of doomish.
Well, not really. I mean, it's just cyclical. Like,
yeah. There's people that don't play anymore, and that's just the way things are.
Yeah. And these came out for season 1 of the Living Story / Living World. So some of these legacy items, they're going to have to do stuff like this to get them out there.
Yes.
Yeah, 4 tickets is a lot, but I don't think it's out of line for the value of the skins themselves.
Okay.
But it's just me.
Oh, you're fine. I was just wanting to pick your brain about it. Because it was kind of like, problem. 4 seemed a bit high.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, 4, that makes sense. And everyone was like, 4! I'm like, oh, apparently I'm the only one who doesn't think that that's
absurd. Yeah.
There was another post on the official forums. This one was about the Bloodstone visage, to change or not to change. And it was Matthew Pennebaker posted, when it went out in August, there was a bug that allowed it to show through the back of the head. To be clear, this wasn't the intended look. Unfortunately, with the attentions being divided between other Living World content, we weren't able to get a fix for it ready until very recently. But before pushing this change through, I wanted to check with you, the community, to gauge your thoughts on the skin. Many of you have earned it, and we want to make sure the general sentiment is that you would prefer to see it changed before we actually do anything with it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I looked through the comments, and I saw that you had noted here as well that the general consensus is it needs to be fixed. I actually don't think I saw one person say, no, I like it the way it is.
Yeah, there was 1 or 2 people that were like, I'm okay with the way it is, but if other people want it changed, I'm fine with it.
And like I haven't put it on any characters, partly because I didn't like seeing the glowy through the skull. And I assumed that was just the way it was supposed to be.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, it's cool from the front, but I don't like seeing it from the back. So it would have to be a very specific thing I would pair it with.
Right.
Like a very specific look. But now I might actually use it for something. And did you... oh, you did. You commented. So because so many people said they wanted it changed, I said, you could say the eyes have it.
And of course I commented with a groan.
As you should have. I usually do inadvertent puns, so when I actually realize I'm doing them, I'm like very pleased with myself. Even though they're one of the lowest forms of comedy. I don't care.
It's still comedic. There was also another chapter of Tyrion Travels with Momo and Vicky.
I love those names.
There's chapter 1 and chapter 2. And if you haven't read them, I mean, it doesn't add anything really lore-wise, but it is, I mean, they're fun stories.
There's flavor. There may not be lore, but they're flavor.
Yes. It's very fun. And if you're interested in reading something fun, go check it out. I don't know.
If you're interested in reading something
fun. I was trying to think of a better word for it, but really, they're just fun to read.
Do you require my assistance?
Ask an Azura.
Excelsior.
We received an unsolicited, which makes it sound like we're not pleased with this, but no, we're very pleased. A tip from a listener. This is from Tybalt. Greetings, Celeste and Allona. This was a little trick I discovered because I have 2 identical characters for roleplay reasons and wanted to be able to quickly swap out my set of Mad Scientist harvesting tools between them. What you'll need for this to work is 3 shared inventory slots on your account and a full set of permanent harvesting tools. First, place all the permanent harvesting tools in the shared inventory slots, then equip cheap harvesting tools on all your characters. Now all you have to do is open your inventory and double-click on the permanent tools to swap them out with the cheap tools on that character. Then, before you swap characters, open your inventory again and double-click on the cheap tools, and the permanent harvesting tools will swap right back into the shared inventory slots. This method is a lot faster than opening up the hero panel to move the tools to your inventory and moving them into the shared inventory slots. I can't remember if someone's mentioned this already, but here it is anyway. Have fun on your endeavors. Tybalt.
It's like one of those duh moments where I wish I'd thought of it myself, but it never occurred to me to try to do it this way.
I've had thought of putting something like the tools there. I mean, I don't have the full complement of them, so I don't have any open.
Mm-hmm.
It could be worth getting a set of 3 just for this. And it never occurred to me doing the double click. The thing is, I would forget. I'd log into a character. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to do that. And then I'd have to log out and log. And then I'd get distracted and forget and start running on that character. I know me.
Right.
And I think if you are a very methodical person, this is genius.
Or you can just be like me, and I have my permanent set on one character, and I have a stack of the Frostbite tool things still.
Yeah, that's what I use for all my characters that don't have permanent ones.
And I just click until I get the one I need.
Yep. And then you have all the tiny little snowflakes.
Mm-hmm. Never gonna run out of snowflakes. Now, if you are running Guild Wars 2 on a potato-style machine...
Potato.
Mm-hmm. User Adams shares their settings, quoting user Morizo, it forces the game to use forward rendering instead of deferred rendering, which is the default for Guild Wars 2. And there's a description and links for you to be able to figure out why this is different and why it works better. But for Guild Wars 2, if you use the modifier -forward renderer, it allows you to run the game on mostly unsupported hardware and software configurations, such as really old video cards, running Wine and Linux or Mac. However, this comes at the cost of screwing up lighting and shadows in-game, degrading the visual quality. But if you're running it on a really old PC,
you're not going to run with full visual quality anyway.
You want it to run just so that you're able to improve your FPS.
Not, yeah, the lag is real.
Yeah, because Adams was getting 15 frames per second and still trying to play the game. And with forward renderer on, they're now getting 45 frames per second, which makes the game a lot easier to play.
Yeah. Well, and like Hashtag plays on a Mac, and she was getting upwards like 6 frames per second at times. Like, I mean, that's...
beast mode.
It is, yeah. It's a thing.
Someone also mentioned that if you're using the 64-bit client, you should force it to run in 32-bit. So, and at full screen. And that apparently will fix a lot of the performance problems that you can have as well.
How do people figure this out?
I guess they just know how video cards work and the architecture that it takes to improve upon it. I am not that far forward, but I'm glad that we're able to at least share tips so that people who play games on a potato can have a better experience. Now, as far as my tip of the week, I mentioned earlier in the show that I was snooping around on GW2 efficiency, and I think it was Inks, actually, that was talking about the hidden achievements for current events, and how so many of them are hidden and you don't know how to get to them, how to unlock them. You don't even think about it unless you go to someplace like Dolphy to just have it automatically show you how to do things. Yeah. Well, if you don't want to have it automatically show you how to do things, you can go over to GW2 efficiency. If you have your API put in, it'll show you the different hidden achievements that you haven't opened up yet, or how much of a percentage you've gotten done of a particular event as achievement as well. Plus, it kind of shows you, it's like, if you click on it, you can see where to go to do it as well, because it's got like the different items or creatures in my case, but I still haven't done that. But it kind of tells you, you know, where you might want to go without having to go in game. So you can kind of plan out your game time a little bit better.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking when you were talking about that and how you used it, like, I think another good tip could also be that using the Guild Wars 2 efficiency to see which of your characters have birthday presents on it. Like, because right now I go into every single one and /age, how am I doing? But now I'm just like, do I have any? No? Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, no, you can just go over to characters and it tells you their ages and stuff.
It would never occur to me to do that. So probably other people are doing this.
Yeah.
I harangued Hunter for a tip for me because I couldn't think of anything. And he very graciously sent me one. The Heart of Thorns storyline isn't very long, so if you progress your character through to the 6th step, you get a black line key, and the best way to finish the Hive and Orc weapon collections is by finishing the story up to Buried Insight on all your characters. And you should check the wiki to see which weapons you should get on which professions. So if you want black line keys and or the Orc or Hive, or the Hive or the Chak. The Chak weapon set.
I think it's Chak,
Yeah. So I need to do that more, actually. I'm almost finished it on another character, but I'm stuck on the very last step. You know, the big fight. So we also have a reminder. We have had a couple entries already for the game, for Surviving the Mist game. The reminder is that the game this week is Name That Tune. What new musical toys would you like to see next? An example that they give is a theremin. It's a real instrument, and it would be a toy when placed on the ground will create a buff on the user, causing the pitch to change with their distance from the toy.
Yep.
Which, that sounds really kind of awesome.
It's an ingenious application.
It is.
Tales of Tyria.
You know, for as much as I like looking at people's artwork and drawing, I hardly ever go to DeviantArt.
Mm-hmm.
But I went there and looked under the GW2 stuff, and I found this really lovely portrait of an Azura from Goblin Knight. The expression on the face and the light work on the hair is so good. Like the cube casting the light onto and it reflecting, and it's super well done.
It is. They managed to make it look very realistic.
Almost like a sculpture.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
Now for something a little bit more fun, on Tumblr from Lorebreaker, the battle between two Necros being downed and swapping blood back and forth. They're basically doing the exact same damage to each other and healing for the same amount over and over and over again. I just found it really humorous.
That's perfect.
Isn't it?
There is nothing I don't like about this.
It's pretty great. That shaman put together a translator, I guess you could say it.
Question mark?
Question mark. It's the Orient Syllabary. Syllabary? I don't know that word. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to end up, like, VOing it over.
Syllabary?
Syllabary?
That sounds slobbery. The Orient Slobber.
Orient Slobber. Yeah. And you can type in whatever you like, and it will spit out the Orion alphabet version right below. So that's pretty nice. It's, something different you don't always see online.
Yeah, I like that. It has 0 practical uses.
It's just fun.
I like it. I actually meant to talk about this last week, and I legit 100% forgot. A few months ago, I took part in a pen and paper role-playing game played online, but with words and dice, with the Relics of War crew, with a modified system to be able to take part in the Guild Wars 2 universe. And the first episode is posted and available for listening, and it was fun to do. I think they're continuing the story. Because of time zones, it was just was not feasible for me to continue. Right. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm very glad that they asked me. And there was one point, I can't remember what Shangaku had said, but they said something. He said something, and I remember thinking in my brain, XYZ. And then I heard myself say on the show, XYZ. And it had been long enough that I didn't remember doing that. And I'm like, well, at least I'm consistent. It was like literally the same smartass comment.
Fantastic.
It was fun. And if you like listening to other people play pen and paper games, they got you covered.
Sounds like fun. And because I flubbed it the last time, I did want to extend a hearty thank you to Hunter for doing all the guest hosting while I was doing maternity leave. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't thank you on the show.
Yes, thank you, Hunter. And thank you for the tip for this week.
And thank you, Allona, for doing the show with me.
Yeah. Thank you, Celeste, for being super.
And thank you, chat room, for sticking around. Thank you for downloading the show. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that you come back again next week. But most importantly, we hope to see you in-game.
The Legion calls.
So if you have a community event that you would like for us to share, go ahead and send us an email.
Seize the moment.
And if you've got a burning question or for our Ask an Azura segment, just let us know.
I'm selling. You buying?
We have coupon codes for Doghouse Systems. Use the coupon code MMO Reporter at doghousesystems.com to get an additional 120 gigabyte Super Star Destroyer drive for free on their next build.
No free samples.
Patreon page. If you're in love with the show or the network, please consider becoming a patron on our Patreon page.
Thanks for pitching in.
In the very least, it helps us keep the metaphorical lights on. So check it out at patreon.com/MMO Reporter.
That fulfills my needs. Thanks so much.
audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. Books!
Books, now with sound!
Knowledge is the greatest treasure.
If you want a free audiobook, you should go to audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter.
That's valuable.
So, Allona, if people want to get in contact with us, how would they do so?
They would email us at gwreporter@mmoreporter.com. Twitter is @gwreporter. Our website is guildwarsreporter.com.
You must visit more often.
Voicemail is 616-666-6778, or use the widget on the right-hand side of the website. Our YouTube channel is MMO Reporter Network, and remember to like our videos and subscribe to the GW Reporter playlist. And if you feel like it, wander around and see what other shows are on the network that you might enjoy.
You are a welcome guest.
Mm-hmm. Facebook is GW Reporter. Tumblr is gwreporter.tumblr.com. And you can visit us on Twitter. I am at OneBigPear, as in the fruit. As in Pear.
And I am at Celyuki. Celookie.
Yep.
Or at Hunter's Insight, one word.
Or you can find us in-game, where I am Celyuki.5046.
And I'm OneBigPear.1249.
And you can get me in-game at Hunt, H-U-N-T, I forget my user display name or whatever.
Thanks to our fantastic chat room. You were busy and awesome and super cool tonight, so thanks a lot for coming out and recording with us. But most importantly, we hope to see you in game.
May the spirits of the wild watch over you.
Good hunting.
Keep your blade sharp and your powder dry.
Take care of yourself.
May the Six watch over you.
Until next time.
You're all of a sudden really loud for me in my ear holes.
Well, you can turn me down in Discord, but
I'm totes doing that.
I have to keep myself loud for the mic to work right.
I have you at 188%.
Wow!
I think I can stand to drop that a little bit.
188. Jesus.
It just occurred to me my window's open. I just noticed that right now. Please excuse me.
Okie doke.
Yep,
we don't want to hear the neighbors. You have
to hear me shut it though. It's more the drag racing that happens outside my window.
Oh, I was just trying to entertain the chat while you were doing things.
Oh, I didn't take my headset off, so
I even did a little dance, but you guys can't see that.
I sensed it.
She sensed my dance. Okay.
Hashtag likes my pun. Yay. Words.
I know, Hunter. I'm a terrible, terrible person.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOreporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.